I wonder, did you look at Bill Cosby as a father figure? Because you were around him so much, you did so much acting, like
Right.
and I mean, you were a good actor, but it was believable. It seems like you admired him as a father when I would watch the show, or even see you behind the scenes of the show, whatever.
Well, I remember I was doing theater. I was perfecting my craft at 9 years
Did a
old.
great job.
Oh, right. No, because my father has always been, an integral part of my life. So I have a father. He was, Mr. Cosby was obviously someone I worked with, someone I respected. But Ennis was also, a close friend of mine. So he was also like Ennis's dad.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't. I would definitely say he was a mentor.
Now you deal with another sad situation. Bill Cosby. How many years were you on that show?
8 years.
How old were you?
13. We started, I was 13.
Right off the bat, the internet seemed very perplexed about how does an accidental drowning occur. I immediately thought of Matthew Perry and Whitney Houston. They had the same cause of death, so we know where that came from.
After almost a year of Malcolm-Jamal's suspicious death, the feds are finally looking into his case again, after once-deleted videos of Bill Cosby seemingly doing inappropriate things to him when he was still a non-adult reportedly leaked all over social media. A lot of people have always wondered if Malcolm was a victim of Bill, and it looks like we finally have the answer we've been waiting for. Malcolm's death always seemed orchestrated, right from the very minute the details of it were made public. But never once did anyone think Bill would allegedly be involved too. Now, as most of y'all already know, Malcolm was reported dead almost a year ago, after he drowned while swimming with his 8-year-old daughter at a beach in Costa Rica. According to reports, a surfer used his board to get his daughter back to safety, while a volunteer lifeguard pulled Malcolm and another surfer to shore. They supposedly worked on him for about 45 minutes doing CPR, but sadly, he was later pronounced dead. But baby, when I tell you the internet was not buying that whole accidental drowning story, folks were side-eyeing it from every angle, like, something about this is not sitting right. And get this, before he even passed, there was this spiritual tea reader on Instagram who had already posted a whole prophecy saying a major celebrity was going to go on vacation and never make it back home. At first, people were clowning her, calling her crazy, saying she was doing too much, and some folks even reported her page for spreading conspiracy mess. But the second the news about Malcolm came out, everybody ran right back to that video like, wait a minute, sis knew something. Because now people are convinced she wasn't just talking out of the side of her neck. She may have been picking up on something the whole time.
Quick word. Somebody on a big stage is about to fall.
A star from The Cosby Show has died.
Malcolm-Jamal Warner drowned yesterday while on vacation with his family in Costa Rica.
Now this is where things get even crazier, because word in the streets is that his death all ties back to his days on The Bill Cosby Show. Malcolm was on the show from when he was 14 to when he was 21, and as y'all know, Bill was later exposed for essaying multiple women, with some reports even saying he may have touched non-adult males too. Malcolm was never officially added to the list of people who Bill touched on, but because he grew up on the show, people have always had their suspicions, and his untimely death also fueled it. People claim Malcolm experienced his own share of SA while he was on the show, and he was in the works to put all of it on blast. And what makes the whole thing even more creepy is that not too long before that Costa Rica trip, Malcolm did an interview where he basically said Hollywood had been offering him certain TV and movie roles that would have required him to go against himself and do things he just wasn't comfortable doing. He didn't spill every little detail about what they were asking him to do, but from the way he explained it, it sounded like one of those sell your soul for the bag type situations. And baby, whatever they were offering must have been big, because he said he turned down millions just to keep his integrity intact.
I think I was very fortunate coming out the gate with Cosby, which put me in a position where, and because I've always had a good team around me, I've always been in a position where I've had the luxury of being meticulous about the kind of roles that I choose. My mom was really instrumental in getting me to understand the concept of longevity, the concept of being versatile within this business, because she would always say, if you look at anyone in this business who's had longevity, there are times when they've been hot and times when they've not been hot. You have to decide what you're going to do during those times when you're not hot, so you're not making desperate acting choices. I've been fortunate enough to I've always had the financial wherewithal to be meticulous about the kind of work that I do. So I have a body of work that I will never have to be embarrassed by. There may be some work I might be embarrassed because I might have been whack, but I don't. There's nothing in my body of work that I'll ever have to be embarrassed in that I misrepresented my people, or I have continued to perpetuate stereotypes of our people. I've been very fortunate to be able to, pick and choose. I've never had to take a role that I felt would compromise my soul.
TMZ is now reporting that Malcolm-Jamal Warner's death, which was initially called accidental drowning, was due to a high current in the ocean while on a family vacation. Initially, TMZ simply reported that they had an unconfirmed but reliable source saying that he simply died of accidental drowning, no other detail. Right off the bat, the internet seemed very perplexed about how does an accidental drowning occur. I immediately thought of Matthew Perry and Whitney Houston. They had the same cause of death, so we know where that came from. There's no illicit behavior, nothing, no smoking gun that you can really point to other than a powerful current in the ocean while you were swimming with your family on vacation, which is like maybe the most tragic circumstances of all. Everything was good, you're hanging out with your family, you're on vacation, you're making memories, and next thing you know, a rip current rips you away, and that's all she wrote. I honestly don't know what's worse. Something that's regrettable and reckless leaves you wondering why and how did we miss this and could this have been avoided. Something like this, though, is just like 1 minute you're good and the next minute you're gone. With your family there, and I'm sure they were trying to save you, and oh my God, that is absolutely gut-wrenching. Just one of those examples of how Mother Nature can be an absolute deadly force. So once again, rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner, gone at the age of 54, simply from a rip current while swimming with his family. Oh.
TMZ also dropped some exclusive footage of Malcolm when he first touched down in Costa Rica, and honestly, he looked like he was just ready to relax, enjoy the trip, make memories with his family, and then come right back home like normal. But clearly, that wasn't the case at all. Now, here's where things started getting a little shady. Raven-Symoné, who we all know was on the Bill Cosby show with Malcolm-Jamal, was asked how she felt about his death, and her response was very telling. It sounded like she had so much more to say but was purposely holding back because she didn't want to get in trouble.
Raven, how are you holding up?
Phoenix on Carousel 22.
Like me, a lot of people in my generation, we grew up with you guys. We feel like when we get news like that of somebody like Malcolm passing, you know, we've got a group chat with all of our friends. It's like he was like our brother, right? You were like our little sister. You know what I mean? I mean, have you spoken to your former castmates? Like, how are you guys holding up?
I've had a lot of deaths in my life for the past 4 years. This is a lot right now.
It's a lot, huh?
Bro. What? The actor Malcolm-Jamal Warner has died. First of all, rest in peace to him. He seemed like a very stand-up guy, positive role model. But I looked into this whole thing and it gets weird. First, let's start with the age he died at, which is 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. You guys know about my 9 videos, and 9 is the number of completion. But also, the show that he was famous for, The Cosby Show, in Gematria, equals up to 54 as well. Then let's go to the date he actually died on, which is July 20th, which is the 201st day of the year. Yeah, can anybody tell me why The Cosby Show ran for a total of 8 seasons, equaling 201 episodes? How? In which is the same number as this event 201, which was a simulation of COVID in October of 2019, right before they actually had COVID.
Anyway, going back to Raven, it's still unclear what exactly she knew about Malcolm's relationship with Bill before his death, but her reaction was still enough to have people digging to find receipts of what could have possibly gone down between Malcolm and Bill, and what they found was disturbing to say the least. You see, unlike Malcolm, Raven has been pretty vocal about all the trauma she went through while she was on that show, all the way from Bill body-shaming her to her never having the courage to speak out earlier because she was scared of what could happen to her. I wish I was living now as a younger person. I probably wouldn't have so many mental issues. It was definitely hard, she said on The View. I remember not being able to have the bagel or anything at, we would call it crafty, where it's just a table of food, ready for you to eat whatever you want. And I remember people would be like, you can't eat that, you're getting fat. I'm like, I'm 7, I'm hungry. I'm writing a book. It's a memoir, but I can't give you everything. The stuff that we went through. And when asked if she plans to dish on her childhood fame in the book, she replied, as best I can without getting sued, you know what I mean? And some people now are even talking about the choices that happened back then. Now, it's being alleged that right before Malcolm died, he had some incriminating tapes of Bill allegedly doing things to him that he was going to expose, but right before he was able to do it, he was ended. You see, a lot of people don't know this, but the reason Bill is currently a free man right now isn't that he is innocent. So back in 2005, when he was initially investigated for the multiple SA allegations against him, he revealed in a court deposition that he intended to give substances to women with whom he wanted to have intercourse. Under oath, Bill testified that in the 1970s, he received about 7 prescriptions for Quaaludes from a Los Angeles doctor, and the sole purpose of obtaining these substances was to SA these women. But here's the thing. The only reason he incriminated himself so blatantly in the deposition is that he was promised by the feds in writing that nothing he said in the deposition would be made public, nor would it be used to prosecute him. But in 2014, when the case came up again, the feds made the deposition public and used the things he revealed to convict him. Well, fast forward to June 2021, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned the conviction, arguing that Bill's due process rights had been violated because an agreement had been made that he would not face criminal charges. Basically, the original prosecutor had promised Bill that his deposition testimony, where he admitted to the Quaaludes, would never be used against him criminally. A later prosecutor then used that very testimony to convict him. The court ruled this was unconstitutional. With this, Bill was let out of prison. However, somewhere last year, Malcolm reportedly came across the tapes of Bill allegedly doing things to him, and he threatened to turn it in unless Bill came clean publicly, which Bill was obviously not going to do because this new evidence allegedly was what the feds needed to throw him back in prison. And guess what? Next thing we know, Malcolm winds up dead in a foreign country. Now, I'm not saying Bill and his entourage did something, but people seem to believe so, and they are calling for his death to be investigated again properly this time, and for those rumored tapes to be found. If those tapes really exist, it might be the key to unlock the truth behind Malcolm's death, get him the justice he deserves, and throw Bill right back in prison, where he belongs. In the meantime, people had their thoughts like this person who said, "What's scary is, he did this, not because he needed to, it's because he wanted full control over an unconscious victim." Another person said, "This man will never be put back in prison. That has to be horrific for those women who this just keeps reopening their wounds, these poor victims." But now I want to know your thoughts. Do you really believe that Malcolm was touched at some point by Bill? And who do you think of the suspicious circumstances under which Malcolm died? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.